Hello, how's it going? It's Asteroid here. In this case, because it's October, it's Spooky Asteroid. I apologize that I look like a fucking mess. It's 1 a.m., which is not that late, but anxiety, homework, bunch of bullshit in life is going on right now. So I decided, what's the best way to procrastinate? And I decided, yes, for at this point, weeks, ever since I found the school strat. So maybe not weeks. I mean, I was doing it at the same time I was doing the school strat. Anyways, okay. While I was doing the school strat and after that, I've been feeling a little burnt out on part two. But that's why I haven't streamed. It's just, school and shit. But I've also been trying to work on some new strats, and we can't. The school thing was one of the things we found. David found the new supermarket strat, which is beautiful, and there are a couple of other places that I have in mind. But one of the places that I've been working on quite a lot recently, and I'm still honestly having trouble, which is why this video is called, something like Beta Courthouse Strat. This is why I'm making this video so I can ask. So because I'm asking for your help. Um, Basically, Courthouse is a very interesting situation where there are times where you can despawn the runner on the right side of a pillar as you defeat the first wave of enemies. And the way that I've assessed that you can do this is basically by keeping your line of sight, like keeping the camera somewhere in the line of sight of that pillar, just keeping it generally on there. But even that is not 100% consistent, and that's why I'm kind of reaching out for help because I've been lost at this for weeks and and like literally dozens of hours, and I still can't necessarily figure out what exactly is causing this certain runner to despawn. So you all know the courthouse strat. um I mean, the courthouse strat is mostly similar. We do use a lot more pistol ammo, so that is one thing to keep in mind. We do use a lot of pistol ammo here. But of course, there are bricks around the area, which you could use. Um, but this is what I've been picking up in here. So first, you rifle this runner like always. Shoot the guy. Shoot this guy. Now, I won't always get a headshot. You will usually have to use 3 pistol bullets. Obviously, it's preferable if you could get that headshot, but I usually just go for body shots to just make it a little bit easier on myself. And then, of course, for the clicker, we'll go for the pistol headshot. We won't use a rifle here. Now, around here, one of the different things in this strat is that we try to natively end where the 2 rifle bullets, 2 revolver bullets, and the 1 full thing of alcohol is. So what I would recommend doing, and I'm still trying to get used to this whole idea, so I apologize if I don't show the best example, but I do want to make it clear that I would strongly encourage you not to pick up alcohol from any of these enemies that drop alcohol. I would strictly only look for rags because there are no rags necessarily that there are no rags at where we natively end up, which is actually right by the pillar where the runner does. It's not a despawn. I called it a despawn earlier. That's actually false. Because it would that mean it wouldn't be like allowing glitchless. It's more just preventing the spawn of a runner. That's like really technically what it is. And I think that's why it probably will be allowed in runs. Also, it's like super easy to get naturally. So I'm pretty sure this will be allowed. I'm 100% sure that some of the runs have in some of the runs that people have done have definitely had their runner despawn, and there's 2 keys to it. Like I said, one, I believe, and again, it's a belief. I'm still not 100% sure because I can't get it 100% consistent, or at least consistent enough because you obviously can't get anything 100% consistent. But I haven't gotten it consistent enough to where I'm comfortable testing it 100 times and saying, okay, I expect this to fail at least maybe nothing more than twice. I don't feel comfortable saying doing that test at this point with this strat, which is why I'm reaching out for help because I genuinely don't know this first part if that's what it is or if there's something more specific to it with the camera movement. The second thing that you have to do is once you kill the first wave of enemies, the runner that pops out and the clicker that pops out, assuming those are the only 2 enemies that are spawned because you prevent the spawn of the runner right beside the pillar. Assuming those 2 are the only enemies, the key so that the runner doesn't spawn, um, behind you is literally just staying behind the pillar area. Keep it in your line of sight. So what I usually do is I kill the runner that's coming at me with pistol ammo, or if you could grab a brick, but try to do it behind the pillar. And then at that point, once I use my pistol ammo, I run to the right where the two rifle, two revolver, and the full thing of alcohol is. I reload my rifle once, and then I shoot the rifle twice at the clicker. Or if I'm out of, and if you are out of rifle ammo, you can just try to get a headshot with the pistol, and at that point I would recommend switching to the dot reticle because it would make it a lot easier than using the circle reticle, and that's sometimes what I've tried to do. I don't like to do that as a personal preference, but I would strongly encourage everyone else to do it. I'm very finicky and picky like that. Okay, let's move on with the strat. So like I said, I try to make it so in a way so that it's in the line of sight. It doesn't always work because these camera things with the melee animations can be strange. And as you can see, he spawned. Like I said, this is not 100% consistent. I'm still not exactly sure if it is just camera and staying behind the pillar area for the second wave of enemies, or if it's something more specific that I just haven't been able to figure out in this big old head of nonsense. But I'm hoping that that is a key. Another solution that I've tried that is less realistic is once you shoot the clicker in the head, just shoot it again in the head with the pistol. The reason I don't like using that is because we are already wasting quite a fucking lot of pistol ammo, and I know now this is done under, I believe, my 21451, which is my PB. I believe this save file is done under that run, which means we should have I'm assuming most people will come in with a decent chunk of ammo when you get into this section. I don't know. I haven't spent a bit since I've done a run. But yeah. Let me see if I can get it. Again, not 100% consistent. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. I don't know if it's actually faster. But I think once we can get it consistent, that's when I'll time it. Which might seem like a waste of time, but I do think that it could be faster because like you're legit killing one less runner, unless you're like super fast. Like obviously in unrestricted it doesn't matter, but in restricted it does matter because we don't have one hit kill and headshots aren't like a headshot would requires a lot of skill for a moving runner. It requires like quite strong muscle memory to the point where you can just like accurately hit the runner headshot in the head constantly for every single run at 30 FPS. Highly unlikely. So that's why I'm like trying to prevent the fun of this runner. So let me see if I can get it. Alright, I feel bad for that runner. I fucking blasted his legs. Like I said, not 100% consistent. And I know that it might seem bad and a little bit ridiculous that I'm making this video, but I can't even get it consistent. But again, this is more like a beta test. That's why it's called that. That's why this whole video somewhere in the title. I don't know what the hell the name of the video is gonna be. All I know is that it's gonna have beta somewhere in it because it's literally a beta. It's not alpha. It's more like a beta, I would argue. But yeah, I'll see if I can show it off. I don't know. It's very inconsistent. And that's why I don't feel I tried it in a run, and like as you saw, my backup strat for that is break the bitch and then knife the bitch, and then pistol ammo or Dina kills the runner from the second wave and then shoot the clicker from very far away. That's the backup strat. Obviously that isn't extremely viable to everyone, but that's how I do it.
Shit!
Wow, I really shut the fuck there. So again, try to keep the thing in your sights. Now, if the runner is coming, two options: rifle the bitch or pistol the bitch. I like to rifle him, but you can pistol him. And then you go over here, reload. Oh, okay. Well, you get the point. All right, it's 1 a.m. I'm very tired, but you know, you reload, get the 2 bullets, shoot the bitch twice, but bam, you're done. And then you're like, not only do you get the 2 rifle, not only do you get the 2 rifle ammo, which it's actually a very important note there. You get the 2 rifle ammo, which normally might mean nothing, but I will point out that there has been multiple occasions, a lot of occasions, where I run out of rifle ammo, or at least only have 1 rifle ammo by the time I get to the Saravina Hotel. At least through my routing. Some other people do have consistent rifle ammo. I'm not sure how they do it, but I usually try not to waste any time with that kind of stuff, and I never do that. I mean, like, I'm not hitting anything. I'm not trying to like dunk on anyone. I'm just saying that I usually don't just have enough rifle ammo, so I mean, yeah. Am I loaded in? Yes, I am. So what's very important to know is if you follow a kind of route that I do and you end up with 0 or 1 Saravina, so 1 or 2 0 or 1 rifle bullets for Saravina Hotel, by sticking there, just by the nature of it. By the way, if you run out of rifle ammo, like you don't have any rifle ammo for the clicker, use a pistol. Or if you're straight up out of that too, you know, obviously switch to a revolver. That's what I would say is your best option, and switch to the dot reticle. Personal opinion. But let's say you only have like 1 rifle bullet and you use it on the clicker, and then you like shoot the clicker in the head and bam, it's dead. The benefit of using this new strat, which implements these items that I knew they existed, but I just like never took them into account because of how I performed Courthouse before. But now that I'm like trying to integrate it directly into the strat, I feel like it's like a win-win, because even if you run out of rifle ammo in the Courthouse strat, you literally get 2 from just the courthouse. So you should have 2 at minimum for Saravina Hotel, which, and as I've said before, you need 2 for Saravina Hotel. So win-win. You also get 2 revolver bullets, which means that you probably won't have to pick up the bullets from the top of Courthouse, not the bottom, the top of Courthouse, because I think there's usually 2 or 3 bullets. I think there's usually 3 bullets. So you'd have 1 less bullet, which means you would enter school where you run in the middle of the hallway with 11 bullets, but you can literally pick up the last 12th bullet. You can get that from literally in school. It's part of the route, right? It's what I explained at school. Ellie does her thing. You pick up the rifle, pistol ammo, and then once you hold triangle for that, you let go of triangle, press triangle again really quickly. As you see the revolver shit pop up on screen, bam, she picks the revolver ammo. You should have 12 there. So like, it's a win-win. And also, again, you get the full tank of alcohol, which means literally all you have to do is pick up a rag. Even if it's like half a rag, that's fine, because there is half a rag in school, and it's like literally like barely off the beaten pad. Like, it'll waste like a second at most. And there's also half a rag in Saravina Hotel that's even like that wastes 0 time at best, like 0.25 seconds, because of the animation or her slowing down just a teensy bit. So literally all you need to do is pick up half a rag, or even a quarter, or like not even if you were feeling ballsy, you don't even really have to have a rag by the end of Courthouse, because again, other places to pick up the rag, I just showed you Saravina and school. Literally, there's your full rag. You get your full alcohol here in the Courthouse strat. Pa-pam, Molotov, pa-pam, fuck you, bloater, So, I mean, like, I feel like the integrating... Alright, well, just don't do that jump. I feel like integrating that part of like making that route part of the strat. I don't know if it actually saves time. Again, I'm still not sure. Um, but I do feel like it makes the run a lot safer. Like you won't be screwed over by not having enough alcohol or rags, or you know, not enough ammo for serving a hotel. Like you'll literally be fine. I apologize if my aiming is a little off too. I just switched my settings to fucking hell. Alright. Please die. See, look at that. You keep hitting your line of sight. Bam, no runner. It's weird. It's very weird. Alright. So at this point, I like to boom boom. Alright. Get that bitch in the air. Switch. Oh, well, you boom. Get that bitch again. Okay. Alright, well. Point of order? Point of order? Point of reference? I don't know. Point of fucking whatever. Point of suck my bitch. That clicker should die in 2 rifle shots, by the way. That the clickers die in 2 rifle shots. To the body. To the body. Alright. So the fact that that thing survived 2 rifle shots is very strange. I have seen it before though. I have seen it before. I believe in my PB I shot so in school you do the rifle thing on rooftop. You hit the woman and the man. I think the woman took 2 revolver shots after I had hit her with a rifle. So I have seen that kind of health discrepancy before. I'm not exactly sure what causes it. I'm still very, very confused at what causes it. I think it's nothing more than just the game being fucking Naughty Dog game, aka buggy as hell. So I don't think there's actually anything you can do about that other than, you know, shoot the bitch. So yeah, so I'll see if I can show it off again. Again, I apologize if my aiming is a little bit off. Just switch the Scarlet settings, like pretty much exactly as she has them. I had seen the video, but okay, well, now I have them as her settings. I guess I'm just a bad aimer, but yeah, I'm trying to learn this new aiming style. Like I have heard that it does help aiming, so that's fun. Alright, I'm getting very disappointed. Alright, well, you know, don't aim. Okay. Okay, I picked up alcohol. There's the rag. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. All I needed was a rag. Alright, you know what? You get the point. Alright, you shoot the bitch. You shoot everyone and kill everyone. Alright, please thank you, game, for not freezing. I know this is a very bad example. I apologize. Brenda's all messed up. But again, this is all just fucking beta testing. Alright, I'm not cutting any of this out because I don't know how to edit. And also my PC ain't powerful enough. But, you know. So, please let me show off another good example game, please. And also don't make me look stupid. Thanks. She just did a little, she just grooved a little bit there. She was just like, Alright. Like I said, just like, you just kind of have to like point the camera in the direction and then like, it'll work. I don't know why I'm picking up this alcohol. And I picked up more alcohol, that's fun. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, you know. There's, you know, the strat just do it better than I do. I do want to show you what happens if you do that strat, but then you just move forward, like I said. And even then, sometimes it doesn't happen, but I'm pretty sure it happens most of the time. The runner will spawn in from behind you. Sometimes it'll go very far away, and it will cause an absolute fucking headache. And it's all RNG, and it's bullshit. So this is kind of meant to deal with that problem and cause less headache, but also, you know, save time, obviously. So let me see if I can show the example. It's been a hot minute since I've done the old Courthouse Strat. I probably won't do that. I'll probably do like a mix of both strats. I'll see what I do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna... See that? See how it wasn't spawned in and then it spawned in behind me? See that? Suck my bitch. Whoa, that runner... Did you see that? Did you see that? That clicker totally just slid for a second there. That clicker totally just slid there. That was funny. Anyways, you see my point. You run up, you go past a pillar, it's out of your sight. Naughty Dog, unlike in part 1, really tried its best to try to spawn these enemies out of screen. At least that's what I'm deducing is why this problem is happening. I'm assuming that because your camera is basically at all times very close to where the runner spawns in, the game is like, shit, man, do I spawn the runner in or not? And, you know, the game's like, well, I guess we're not going to spawn the runner in because we're fucking looking at the pillar. And that's probably a stupid theory, and I'm sure it doesn't apply to all areas in the game. You know, maybe it happens in Abbey percent. I don't recall any section, you know, in LA% where that could happen. Obviously, there are some examples in terms of environmental stuff. I mean, just the other day, I got the Courthouse despawn shit. That's like super annoying. I won't show it, but you know, obviously in texture loading and blah blah blah. But I'm more talking about enemies and AI. I mean, y'all remember for those who didn't play or speedrun part 1, or it's been a while, or don't watch Ann streams or whatever. I mean, yeah, people and enemies spawned, you know, pretty much whenever the fuck they wanted. They would spawn in front of you. They would spawn, like, you know, whenever they felt like it. And if that meant right in front of your eyes, right in front of your eyes. There are so many videos, especially from Anthony Caliber, which most of you know, through Speedrun Part 1. There's so many clips of him where you can just see literally a person spawn in, or enemies spawn in throughout part 1, especially, you know, in the introduction area. I mean, when Joel is walking carrying Sarah, people spawn in your line of sight all the time. And I think Naughty Dog was aware of that, and they're like, all right, let's try not to do that. And then this happens where we can despawn, you know, enemies. Now, obviously, this is very unlikely to be able to be used in other parts of the run. Nothing comes to mind. But hey, you can find a way to implement this trick that's not really a trick because it's like super easy to perform in other places, you know, tell the speedrunning community, you know, do it. Shit! Oh, fucking hell, this is gonna be another 40-minute video. Jesus Christ. Terrible. Alright. Now you might be saying, but Aaron, what happens if you, like, go over here, right? Because, as you can see, the encounter is still happening. Nothing. I'm pretty sure after you kill those last 2 enemies, the game's like, it's done. It's done. The encounter is finished. They wipe their hands clean. Put a little bit of Germix on because COVID. And they get the fuck out. They start loading in the next section, you know, fucking outside of Seattle, whatever. They're like, we're done. The runner didn't spawn in. Whatever. The encounter's over. It's a win. I mean, it's not really a win for the game, but I don't care. Naughty Dog. Ain't my fault you messed up the game. So that's it. I'll show it a couple more times. Hopefully I can get it, you know, more. Hopefully I can aim better. Not miss a clicker on the head right when it's in front of me, and hopefully you're able to replicate the results and hopefully do it more consistently than I can. Yeah, and hopefully this ends up in faster courthouse. Hopefully this ends up with a faster courthouse, a better time with Saravina Hotel, and a better time with like creating a Molotov and getting the supplies for a Molotov. Hopefully this makes it easier, and I think it will be. I think it will be. I think it'll help for sure. Sometimes a runner will go that side, and that is unfortunate. I mean, as you can see, the basics just stay your way. Okay, so let me do another example of it, and let me describe exactly everything that's going through my head, up in this big fucking noggin of fucking nonsense, alright? Sorry that I'm deleting these save files, but I have a lot of save files, and I really need the space just in case I want to have another save or whatever. So, you do the movement tech here. I'm not very good at it, but, just be better. I am gonna do the shortfall just for time's sake purposes. Jesus Christ, it's already 27 minutes in. Oh. Alright, so the initial part, very similar. Alright, shoot the very first guy you see shoot the very first runner on the more on the right side. It'll be in the middle of your screen, but it's the right side compared to the left side, to the left wave of enemies, right? You rifle the bitch. Shit! After, Dina kills him. By the way, this doesn't work on a restart checkpoint or on a restart encounter like the strat. Just like the other Courthouse Strat, this doesn't work on a restart checkpoint. So if this run if the courthouse goes absolute to shit, just honestly reset the run. It's like Capital. Honestly, this is a Capital Part 1. If you fuck it up really badly, there really is no save for it. Restart checkpoint and a restart encounter, just like in Part 1, will not help the situation. It'll make things way more... The placement of the enemies will be different. The RNG obviously changes. It makes the whole section just a clusterfuck of nonsense. At that point, I would say reset the run. Just like... In fact, Capital is pretty much an hour in as well. So, just like Capital, if this goes wrong, reset the run. Honestly, because there's not a lot you can do to save this shit unless you're a fucking god and can get headshots and all this shit. Okay, back to the explanation. Headshot the guy in the middle, aka, or not headshot, but rifle the bitch in the middle. All right, which is in the middle of your screen, but it is the right wave. It is to the right of all the other enemies that spawn in. Okay, now what I will do is I will go to the very other side, aka very much to my left, pull out my pistol, and shoot the bitch 3 times, or 1 time if I get a headshot, or, blah, blah, blah. So, and obviously Dina's helps. That's great. I was a little slow there in switching from my from my rifle to my pistol. Be a little bit quicker than that, obviously. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the middle of the screen and focus on the runner first. I want to kill the runner first because the runner is faster than the clicker, and it can be a pain in the ass. Alright, so now, keep the pistol out. Shoot the runner. Great. If you have to reload, obviously reload. But if you got 1 pistol bullet left, hit the clicker on the head. It's very much necessary that you hit the clicker on the head. Alright, now there are 2 options you can do here, as I've said. One, which I would consider the more risky one in order to get the runner to not spawn, is to melee in a certain way that will keep the camera pointed towards the right side of the let me actually show. All right. Okay, not the pillar to the right side of the screen, the pillar in the very middle, okay? The right side of that pillar, all right, to where you get the supplies. That is where the runner will spawn, and you want to have your camera generally pointed in that direction. Again, the melee route is a very dangerous route to go, and by dangerous I mean risky, not really dangerous. As I showed you, there is a backup strat, and I will show that off. You know, in the next time, like not next video, but like the next attempt. All right, so you want to have your camera pointing towards that direction. Again, the reason I do say that this is a little bit risky is because Ellie does all sort of different shits. You know, sometimes she'll, fucking hit the guy in the head and the camera kind of like pans down and just faces the clicker, causing the runner to spawn. Or, sometimes she'll do that, but the camera will pan to the side and it'll kind of just like work in your favor and the runner will not spawn. Or sometimes what'll happen, as if I think you saw it either last attempt or 2 attempts ago, where she'll go to the back, stab the clicker in the back and then in the head really fucking quick. So she stabs it 2 times in the back and then in the head. But that again is very focused on the clicker, so it's also very risky. Again, what I would recommend is just shoot the clicker in the head and then shoot him again twice while facing towards the pillar. And sometimes just by the nature of crossing this car right here, just by the nature of crossing that car to the left side, right here, which is our usual pathing, can cause the runner to spawn in. But again, the backup strat of that is brick the runner, because you should have a brick. Brick that guy that spawns in, and then knife him, and then get your pistol ready. Reload if you have to. Shoot the runner that's coming your way, that came up from that top section. And then I would recommend coming back to this side, pick up the supplies, or reload first, however, wherever the clicker's position is, whether it's, obviously if it's about to fall down, start reloading your rifle. Don't pick up the ammo or supplies, because that'll, Ellie won't do that at the same time. She won't reload and pick up the supplies at the same time. You'll have to wait. So what I would recommend is if you can see the clicker, if you can see the clicker and you can get a good shot on it, even if it's just a body shot, start reloading, get that second bullet in. All right, or just shoot at it if you somehow already have 2 bullets in. If so, props to you. Shoot the bitch in the head, and then, in the body, or just twice in the body, whatever. All right, and then once you do that, pick up the supplies. Now, if you can still see the clicker, if you still can't see the clicker, or it's like super far away and it's gonna take a bit to come in, pick up the supplies real quick, start reloading the rifle. I would recommend reloading the rifle first, because usually what will happen is Ellie will still have to do her little like 2-second thing where she like makes so that you can actually shoot the rifle itself, and then she'll go into her actual reloading animation. So I would recommend doing that and then picking up the supplies. Even if you've practiced a lot, I just feel like that's easier, makes it, so that you don't waste time. The whole point of this is to waste as little time as possible. Obviously, we're in a speedrun. All right, so Alright, keep putting your sights. Pick up. Again, you don't have to pick up the rag there, but you can. There are other areas where you can pick it up. As I explained in the last video and in this video, Saravina Hotel, there is literally half a rag. As you skip the cinematic at the top of Saravina Hotel, it's literally like to your left side on a desk right by a hammer. Don't pick up the hammer, but pick up the rag if you need it. Again, you can leave this. You can leave the courthouse area without ever actually having to pick up a rack, but I do just for the safety of it. And again, if you only have half a rack that you picked up from Servina Hotel, you can pick up the other half in school. I showed that off in the school video. Go check that out if you haven't. Yeah. So the runner did not spawn in, so I'm gonna pull out my rifle. So I shot the runner. Now sometimes he will go to the left of that police car. If so, it's unfortunate. It's RNG. I'm not exactly sure what controls it yet. But again, I think it's just straight up RNG. Sorry, minor burp. In that case, what I would recommend is wait till you feel comfortable that you can get a shot in, because you will usually only have one rifle bullet in your clip at this point, so you have to be very careful with the shot. Don't miss it, because obviously it'll take too long, and the runner will get you, and it's a reset run, and you fucking throw the controller to the side and you break it, and you have to buy all. You get what I mean. All right, so at this point, or you'll have two rifle bullets at this point, but again, you'll have two. You'll use one for the runner, so you'll be stuck with one. Again, so I that was incorrect. Since you do have two clips, you could use one there, but that will make it harder to not waste time when the clicker comes in, because again, you do need two rifle bullets, so it's recommended that you already have at least one rifle bullet in the clip when you are reloading, so that it doesn't take so much time and you can shoot the clicker as quickly as possible as it is coming down. I feel like that makes sense. All right, so reload the bitch once, get the bitch twice, pick up the stuff, and again, you'll end up with a minimum of two rifle bullets, making that which basically allows you to have the necessary amount of bullets you need for serving a hotel, making it a very much easy experience, because usually the serving a hotel runners will line themselves up like a bunch of idiots. You get the two revolver bullets there, which means you technically don't have to pick up the one at the top of Courthouse, making you waste not as much time, if any time at all, because in Courthouse, the one negative side of having to pick up those revolver bullets at the top is that Ellie does, she ducks down and she slows down and she picks up the revolver ammo, and it can take a little bit of time for her to get back up, and it can just be, it can definitely waste about a second at most. And so that's why I think this could be a better option. And again, you'll end up with 11 revolver bullets, but you can pick up the one in school, which I explain how to get that in my school video, so you can go watch that if you don't know how to do that. Leaving you with 2 revolver bullets, letting you use, up to 6, I would recommend for the top of school, leaving you with 6. To Capitol Hill, you pick up the 3 in Capitol Hill, you end up with 9, you use that for TV station, blah, 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 right? It all snowballs into a bunch of clusterfuck of time save, which is good. And then, and like I said, you get the alcohol here, leaving you not stressed out over, seeing if you can actually get the alcohol or not. So, I mean, it's a win. It's a big dub. Does it save time? If you're very optimized, I would say so, but I haven't timed it necessarily. As I've said like 20 billion times, it's a beta strat, and frankly, I am ready to move on to something else, so that's why I'm asking the help of the community, so maybe we can finally fucking solve this mystery out. Fucking hell, this is gonna be a 40-minute video. Jesus Christ. Alright, fuck it. I had 2 cups of coffee. Shit! Alright, so... Alright. Wow, shit. I was gonna try to get the runner to despawn. To spawn in. So I'm gonna look this way. Okay, he didn't spawn in. That's fun. Alright, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. Alright. It can become a whole clusterfuck, but I'll just show you. I need to reach that checkpoint. So you kill all these bitches, right? The runner will usually be right there, right where Ellie's spawning, right here. All right, right here. We'll spawn literally right here. So what happens? Well, as Ellie is okay. As Ellie is running from the middle of these 2 cars to these 2 pillars right here, this one on the left and the one on the very edge of the right corner, what will usually happen is by the time, like right there what the clicker is, right there in the middle, the runner will have already spawned. So what you will do is you will brick the runner. I showed this earlier, so you can rewatch that, but I'm explaining it again in more detail. So you will brick the runner with the brick you have. He will usually be either right here in the very middle, the center of the pillar, or to the left side of the pillar. So what will happen then is you'll brick knife it. You'll get out your pistol real quick. At this point, the runner could be anywhere from the police car up to getting very, very dangerously close to you. So there are two things. There are two routes you could take there. At that point, you could take a safety dodge, just in case it's like right on you, or you can get out your pistol and be a little bit more risky, which is what I usually do, because most of the times the runner isn't right next to you, but he could be. It's a small chance, but he could be. So at this point, assuming he's I can't move the camera too far, but assuming he's gonna be somewhere in between the police car and these two pillars, right? He's in the middle there in the water. At that point, you shoot the runner 3 times in a row. At that point, that's when I say you should pick up these supplies. But only after you have reloaded your rifle and shot the clicker that will, come out of that small hole. You should. That's how I would do it. That's how I would do that backup strat. So I'll show it off one more time. Again, any help would be much appreciated. Seeing if we can find it in like 100, not 100, but an extremely, extremely, extremely consistent way to get the runner to despawn, so that we don't have to deal with the headache of it spawning behind us and Dina sometimes getting a plus sign, because that does happen, and sometimes getting stuck in that plus sign animation, killing a run, because that has killed runs and permadeath runs before, It prevents that. It prevents also the runner from sometimes being very far back to sometimes up to like here where, Ellie and Dina are at the very beginning, causing, time loss, headache, waste of a rifle bullet, just all around nonsense. So that it basically prevents all of that from happening. Again, it's kind of a school situation where we're trying to say fuck you to the RNG, fuck you to Naughty Dog, and they're stupid. Don't spawn and don't have enemies spawn in front of like people. Camera view. I don't really mean fuck you, Naughty Dog. I more mean like fuck the RNG in this game. That's kind of what the whole goal of these strats are, is to eliminate as much RNG as possible. That's what David did with the supermarket strat. He basically eliminated the RNG from that last runner, sometimes coming up to the left side instead of coming to the right side, where you can double kill him and the runner with the brown clothing in front that isn't blonde. That's what we did with school at the rooftop. The whole point was of eliminating the stupid RNG that can sometimes cost you up to 40 seconds, making the whole strat about 2 minutes. Sometimes even longer if you fuck it up, and even then it's not guaranteed, because you could get caught and they'll follow you into the end, causing you minimum a minute. Sometimes, and that's after waiting quite a bit of time, leading the strat to be from anywhere from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. And that's the whole purpose of this strat as well, is to eliminate as much RNG as possible, get that shit out of the way, hopefully save some time, and if not, even if the strat is 1 or 2 seconds slower, make it so that the route is consistent, the enemies are somewhat consistent, and again, the purpose of this is that the purpose of this video is to get this strat out to the world, beta strat, and have some help of like, how in the fuck can I get this runner to consistently despawn? That's the whole purpose of this video. All right, let's do it one more time.
Shit!
All right, definitely a little bit of improvisation there, I won't lie. It was very strange. I'm sure if you look back at the footage, you'll see that it seemed like the awareness indicators indicated that there was a runner right by the pillar, but it never spawned, because I was looking at that shit. I was like, I'm watching you, Naughty Dog, and the game was like, oh, my bad, my bad. I won't spawn the runner in. So that's why I was like looking to see if the runner was there, and that's why I had the brick out. In that case, I improvised, killed the runner with a brick, which is an option. But as you can see, I ended up on the left side of the car, of the truck. Let me go into photo mode real quick. It got me to be on the right side of this truck right here instead of this right side, causing me some time loss. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but you know, I've showed the strat multiple times. You get the gist of it. I've explained to it, hopefully in excruciating details, so much that you get a headache from literally hearing my stupid ass voice for 45 minutes. All right, that's fucking hell. And this is like another mini video essay on strats, which is ridiculous, but I mean, yeah, you know, getting sub 213 and the eventual goal for me in this category is hopefully getting to sub 210. I mean, it's going to take time, but you know, these are the kind of things that I'm looking for, and even if it takes 40 more, you know, 40 45 plus minutes to explain a, you know, a strat that takes about a minute at most, maybe a little bit less, maybe just like a little bit more, but makes other parts of the run easier. Like, it's worth it and it's necessary to explain in excruciating detail. That way, hopefully, you can replicate the results and give feedback on how we can improve this strat, make it faster, make the route consistent, make the RNG consistent, make the spunner, make the prevention of the spawn, prevention of the runner spawning in consistent. I mean, that's what these videos are for. That's why they're so long. So hopefully you learn something from it. Hopefully you can, I don't know, gain something from this. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. All right, adios.